Welcome back to SouFLoTV. It's your host with the most. Here is another U.S. immigration update video. Hit that subscribe button, please. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Let's get right into the material. ICE is blindsiding women and men, otherwise known as spouses, husbands and wives, at their final green card interviews with arrests. This is something to think about. You might not be directly affected by this, but this is something to think about. Like, for instance, for the people who said, get your papers the right way, this is the right way. This is one of the right ways that are provided. People get married, people fall in love, they get married, they form families, and now your spouse goes in for her or his final interview before that green card is supposed to be granted, and they're picked up at that final interview by ICE. Everything else has been approved all the way up to that final interview, and now they're about to be sent back to their country where you'll probably have to start the process all over again. So here's what we have for you today. It was first posted in the Mirror, and MSN also carried this news. It says that Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents are ambushing immigrants by arresting them at their final appointments for permanent status in the U.S. It's no secret they've been hanging around the courthouses, and a lot of people so far have been taken into custody just simply going in to their regular checkups that they're supposed to do. You know, some people were released on what's called probation, immigration probation, and they were told at the third of every month, report to this office in this building, wherever you're at. So at the third of every month, they show up. Well, ICE just started showing up at the third of every month too, and just taking people while they're there. So this is an extension of that. So in San Diego, immigration lawyers are sounding the alarm that dozens of people have been arrested by ICE during their final interview for a green card at Immigration Services Office since mid-November. Dozens. This is not an isolated incident. They didn't take one or two persons. They've taken dozens of people who are married to American citizens, who are in the process of building a family, and who are or were looking forward to getting their situation completely straightened out immigration-wise, and now they're being taken from their family. So they include mothers and fathers who attended these interviews with their families, believing that they were moments away from securing their permanent status in the United States. We're talking about people here who sometimes it's the mother that's the immigrant and the father is an American citizen, and they already have a child together. And the child is also there at the interview, and they show up and they show a united front. So it's mother, father, and child. And ICE takes her away, takes the mother away. The father has to grab hold of his child and watch the mother go into custody. Now, mind you, this is not her first interview. This is the final interview before status is granted. They're thinking, we done it. We did every interview. We were never picked up. We're good. This is the last one, and we're done. And off you go into ICE custody. Instead, as interviews finished with the immigration officers, ICE agents barged in to put them in handcuffs. One person said, I had to take our baby from my crying wife's arms, Stephen Paul said to the New York Times, as he was recalling when ICE arrested his wife, who was born in the United Kingdom. I had to take my baby from my crying wife's arms. She has to watch her family go one way while she goes the other way. In each of these last-second arrests, the New York Times received ICE agents told the applicants that they had overstayed their tourist or business visas, and that's the reason why they are going into custody. Now, in all fairness, what it seems like is these are people who came in under a different visa. Like, for instance, you came to the United States of America as a tourist, and somewhere along the line you decided, while I'm here, I'm already in love with this person. We're going to just go ahead and get married, and no sense in going back home. Let's apply for a adjustment of status based on marriage. And that's what it is. Some came in under a business visa, some came in under just a regular visa as a visitor. And now it's not being honored. I don't know if y'all remember when Joe Biden was going out of office, one of the things that Joe Biden put in place through executive order was that the spouses of American citizens should stay with their family. Joe said he's not in the business of breaking up families for people who did nothing. They're not harming anybody. They just want to be together and have a family. So if you're married to a spouse who is an American citizen, you deserve the right, if you're here already, to just go through the process and get certified or get your proper paperwork. And he executive ordered that. That was about one of the first executive orders that Donald Trump nullified when he got into office. He threw that out. He said, nope, not going to work, not on my watch. I don't give a damn if you're married to an American citizen. You are going back to your country and y'all can work this out some other way. Well, one person said it's insane to have them rip our family apart, said Paul. Whoever is directing this has completely lost touch with their mission to this country. In a statement to the Times, an ICE spokesperson said that this is all a part of the process. I don't know what process. I think it's the process of getting as many people who are not American born out of the United States of America as possible, especially if their status is not 100% clear. Apprehension at U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services offices may occur if individuals are identified as having outstanding warrants, or if they're being subject to court-issued removal orders, or having committed fraud or crimes or other violations of immigration laws while they're in the United States. You might look at a couple and say, well, she didn't do anything. She just married her husband and is waiting for her paperwork. They filed through the system the proper way, and they're waiting just like they were told to do. Why are you arresting her? Well, according to them, overstaying a visa is also a violation of immigration laws. It doesn't matter if you applied for an adjustment of status or whatever. I think they have to look at it, though, in a way where, well, this is how it used to be looked at. Say you are on a 6-month visa, and 3 months into your 6-month visa, you got married and filed for an adjustment of status 3 months into a 6-month. That means you have 3 months left on that visa to be here legally. And hopefully, by the time it is done or expired, your 6-month stay, you will have been approved. Now, we all know that it's going to take more than 3 months, but usually they would give you an answer that would have you stay temporarily until the process is fixed, where they decide, we're going to deny this or we're going to accept this. So now you're stuck in limbo because your 6-month visa has expired, but you do have a packet that was presented to immigration offices months before your visa expired, your legal entry visa expired. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people are caught in this place right here. Well, like they said, they are looking at it under the administration of Donald Trump that this is a violation of immigration laws no matter which way you slice this pie. You should have went home. You should have had the person who loves you come to your country and marry you. or you should have, and then you could have filed a different way or however else, but not come in and file for adjustment of status on a visa after you got married. I've watched Immigration UK in the United Kingdom. This is actually one of the reasons why they deny entry into the UK. I saw a couple leaving the United States of America going to the UK for vacation. The woman was a UK citizen and the man was a US citizen. At the border, after they landed, I believe it was Gatwick Airport, after they landed, and they had to go through some immigration questioning, they separated the man from the woman. She's a British citizen. She's fine. They told her she is good to go. She can go wait on her partner, but they have further questions for him. Then they asked him this question right here. They said, "What are you planning on doing while you're here?" And he said, "I'm just here to see her family and enjoy the UK a little bit and then go back home." And they asked him, "How long have y'all been in a relationship?" And I think he said like 3 or 4 years or something like that. And right away, the officer said, "I'm going to have to deny your entry today." And I thought, damn, deny his entry? They've been together 4 years almost, or 4 years, something like that. And the officer said, "Yeah, you've been together like 4 years. You might come to the UK and get married and get a job somewhere, or overstay your welcome and start working illegally while you apply to adjust your status. And we just don't want that." Wow. So if you look at what's happening in the US right now, that is what a lot of people actually did. They did come in on a visitor's visa. They did marry somebody while on that visitor's visa. They did apply for a change of status. They were waiting, which is exactly what the UK officer said they did not want to happen, and they actually denied entry. In 25 years of practice, one attorney says, "I have never seen anything like this." Johanna Keamy, the lawyer representing Paul, said, "The proper procedure was exactly what they did. What's next? Revoking green cards from millions who followed these same steps?" Paul's wife and others who were grabbed right before they obtained their green cards, they have all submitted extensive paperwork. They have all paid up all their fees. They have all got fingerprinted. They have all passed their medical exams. They didn't have any criminal records, and none of them entered the country illegally. Let me say that again. Paul's wife and others who were grabbed, and the dozens that they grabbed, were all people who they submitted extensive paperwork. This is right before getting their green card. They paid all their fees. They already did their fingerprints. They already passed medical exams. They already did the background check. They came back clean, no criminal records. And none of them entered the US illegally either. And still, last minute, last interview, grabbed up by ICE. So after Paul learned that officials were threatening to deport his wife without a hearing, their lawyer filed a lawsuit in federal court to secure her release. And in response, the government ended up approving her green card and setting her free from a detention center. That's crazy. There are others who are in there who can't afford attorney fees, and they are going to be deported. So it seems like they're just grabbing up everybody. And if you're quick on your feet and you go get an attorney quickly, or if you have an attorney and your attorney is smart and does what Paul's attorney did, which was file a lawsuit, Because that's what they did. They filed a lawsuit when they notified him that they were about to deport his wife without a hearing. They filed a lawsuit, and in response to the lawsuit, boom, her green card was approved. And she was released from the detention center, but there are others who are still in there. This is just a heads up. This might not affect you, but it might affect a family member or a friend or someone of the immigration community that you belong to. Whether you are on the right or wrong side of this, whether you're on the left, right, or in the middle, pass this on so somebody else hears it and knows what's ahead. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.